Skull Island, the latest installment of Warner Brothers and Legendary's Monsterverse, which has just dropped on Netflix. I'm Connor from Unleash the Ghouls, and I'm gonna share my thoughts and feelings on this 8-episode animated series based on King Kong. There'll be spoilers ahead, and also there's a secret monster tucked away within the Horror Exchange, our upcoming secret project, links below. So this series has officially been made canon within the Monsterverse, which so far has seen 4 live-action films, with a 5th on the way, as well as an Apple TV series. Blending together the legacies of Godzilla and King Kong, the iconic Skull Island has been a setting before in the series. However, now we've not only moved into animation, but we've returned to this legendary location of wonders and monsters. Conceptually, I'm not sure why they made this decision, because it doesn't slot into the rest of the series in a natural way, but I think the main problem Skull Island has is that there are only so many things you can do on Skull Island to make it work for 8 episodes. How could they possibly have made it work, and more importantly, did they? We have a young man named Charlie, the son of an explorer who goes by the name Cap, amongst a couple others, who get shipwrecked and wind up on Skull Island. Simultaneously, there's a badass action gal named Annie who makes an escape from a team of people hunting her, who also ends up on Skull Island. It's a series of character crossovers, but with the general sweeping setup of group of people on Skull Island in danger from monsters and need to get off. That's my problem here. This concept is retreading well-walked ground. Granted, the motives of being on Skull Island in the first place have differed, such as the original King Kong, where the purpose was filmmaking, or Kong Skull Island, where the purpose was scientific discovery. However people wind up on Skull Island, the formula remains pretty similar once they get there. Oh, look at all these horrible creatures and these stunning picturesque locations. Oh, here comes Kong for a bit, a few pinches of conflict, and voila. Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoy me some wandering through strange exotic lands and some big monsters battling each other, but this can only go so far in terms of creating a narrative. Other elements need to be introduced to give the story something to latch onto. Enter my least favourite piece to the kaiju puzzle, human characters. Though I fully understand that there's a requirement to have human characters to follow in these kinds of films, I feel like 9 times out of 10 they're either unlikable or they don't have anything of gripping interest to do. Though I think Skull Island, the series, does have some good character moments, on the whole I could not get attached to these people. I think that the tone was a huge reason for this. The show was pitched as being a 15 on the UK Netflix due to some graphic nature. The best kind. That got me imagining a more grisly adult cartoon. However, there's so much joking around and carrying on where the severity of being stuck on Skull Island was never really felt to me. It was all a bit too jovial and it drew me out of Skull Island's attempts at intimidation. You've got Charlie and Danny having a will they won't they, stacks of light-hearted gags plugged into the script. The tone of this series was closer to something like than what I'd like to have seen personally. I didn't expect something too serious. It was advertised as being quite vibrant with the animation style, but I think the chefs got the ingredients wrong and added a bit too much comedy here. Even the relations between the characters at times are a little iffy. Charlie tells his dad he plans to go to college, which is important and commendable, yet Cap has none of it because he doesn't need to go to college to be an explorer. His son has came to him with his wishes, and Cap has none of it. They're super casual as a father and son, but I couldn't help but think this should have resonated as a bit more important to Cap. But nope, it's another opportunity for some quips. Then there's the relationship between Annie and the woman who has been hunting her, Irene. After we see Irene being a friendly, then becoming more like a villain due to looking for Annie, the dice of character twists eventually lands on relative. The revelation that Irene is Annie's mother is quite possibly one of the least surprising twists I've ever seen. What, you mean that these two people with the same colour hair, same colour eyes, same skin tone, same eyebrows, same facial structure, and very similar voice are related? can't fathom it. Though admittedly it wasn't brushed up to be like a Darth Vader Luke Skywalker twist. Overall, when it came to the human characters, I fully understand why they need to be there. It's for relatability and having people to drive a story forward. Personally, I'd love to see a Kong film where there's no dialogue and it just follows the monsters, done as a visual spectacle. I know that'd be challenging to bring to life, so there'll likely always be humans involved in these kind of films and series. Yet, it's extremely rare in these kinds of films where you genuinely care about the human characters, rather than just wanting to see the monsters go after them or pick them off. Speaking of, let's get onto the topic we all want to see when it comes to Kong: some good action. Now, there are some decent bits in here, like when Kong fights the sea monster in the finale, but throughout the series it wasn't all that inspiring. I really did enjoy seeing all the random monsters Skull Island has to offer, like the beach crabs and the crocs, but when push comes to shove, we all know Kong is the big draw here. I did enjoy how they kept Kong's introduction till about halfway through the series, to not blow their biggest load too early. Yet once Kong was introduced, he didn't get up to too much, and the focus continued to remain on the uninspiring human characters. I did quite enjoy the episode which went into some of Kong's backstory, painting a bigger picture as to why he's a sympathetic creature, so that was a nice touch to see. Plus, Kong in the finale was a proper beast, with a fun clash against the sea monster. It's tough to find a balance with Kong in a series like this, because the show's meant to be more about Skull Island itself, more so than being about Kong centrally. However, if you'd have trimmed down the humans and provided some more Kong action, plus some extra stuff with the sea monster, who despite being the final boss was pretty underused, I think this could have made for a better balanced series. Now, very openly, I'm not a devout fan of the King Kong series. I'm much more casual, so I'm not sure how this one will go down with the hardcore Kong fans. I could probably imagine some people thinking this one doesn't progress the series all that much, instead relying on previously established tropes for the most part. I did really quite like the ending with Annie waking up in the big city, because it mirrors Kong being taken to the big city, both of them being taken away from the environments they thrive in and put into unfamiliar territory. It's also left us with a cliffhanger for a potential series 2. Personally, I think it could be a cool idea for Annie to move across into the live action films, with Skull Island serving as her introduction to the Monsterverse. But what do you think? Should Skull Island return for more? Was it worth making in the first place? Did you agree or disagree with anything I've said? Whatever you want to let us know, let us know. And while in the comments, once again, don't forget to check out the Horror Exchange. Cheers for watching this honest review. I'll see you soon, and cheers out.